My brother Michael went out ahead of me with the tractor and Annie. He sent Annie to gather the cows and bring them to this corner, where he rolled out a couple bales to keep them content. This video starts after I joined up with him. Here I'm sending Annie out again so that we can get the herd headed out on the trail. On this day, I'm going to use two of my young Hangin tree Cowdogs, Latigo and Reata, to help Annie move the cows to fresh pasture. The pasture we're headed for is 4.5 miles away. For obvious reasons, I didn't video the whole thing, but I was able to get bits and pieces with the drone and my cell phone to share with you all. You will also notice I speeded up in a few places to make it a little shorter and yet tell as much of the story as possible. At this point, we set up to take the lead, and the dogs will bring them on behind. To start with, I'm going to send Laddie out to help Annie. And if that goes well, I'll let Reata out to help a little farther down the trail. Annie's in the back, and Laddie's on the right. Here you'll notice Laddie's working in a little too close and he splits a cow out. I was not in a good position to help him correct it. I was glad to see that with his natural instinct and the training I've given, he was able to figure it out. God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. He says to the snow, fall on the earth, and to the rain shower, be a mighty downpour, so that all men he has made may know his work. Job 37, verses 5 through 7. Everything's going good. Time to let out Reata. We have to go through several pastures along the way. At this gate, I took the opportunity to do some control work with the dogs. I will try to down them at several points. Only so many cows can fit through a gate at a time, so I feel like it's good practice to slow the dogs down when bringing cattle through a gate. Here you'll notice Annie knew exactly which cow needed attention. The pups will figure it out with time. At this point I say that'll do. Tell them good dogs, load them up in the truck, and get on ahead of the cows before I send them back to continue to bring them on. For this next video clip, I left the two pups in back of the pickup and used only Annie because I had to bring the cows up against a one-wire fence that I had rolled up to leave an opening for them to come through.
Good girl, Annie. We've brought them about 1.5 miles so far. These pups have been back there bringing them for a little while. I just gave them a break. Good boy, Laddie. Good boy. Good girl, Reata. We're gonna have to cross the highway in just a little bit here, and I'll probably let them out and let them work for a while longer again.
Look at them go. They're sure excited to get back to work. This herd of cattle handles really nicely. Because these Hangin tree Cowdogs are stronger on the head, you'll notice they're not in there grabbing heels much. Because of that, they are very good at keeping the cattle calm and bringing them quietly. The dogs spend most of their time patrolling the outside edges of the herd, looking for any that are out of line. As long as the cattle are headed the right direction, the dogs don't put much pressure on them. But if they decide to try to turn and leave, they're in for trouble. At this point, we leave the tractor, and my brother Michael drives the pickup while I ride and video, and jump out if I need to correct the young dogs. Now, because these dogs are stronger on the head, it's my job to keep them from coming on my side and stopping the herd. As long as I keep them on the backside of the cattle, they will continue to bring them in a quiet, manageable way, whichever direction I lead. Here I need to jump out and tell Laddie to get back. As long as these cattle are responsive to the dogs, there's really no need for the dogs to get aggressive. Once these cattle come through the gates, my brother Michael takes the pickup home and I continue on the rest of the way with the tractor. We only have 2.5 miles left to go. In this next video clip, you'll see Laddie turn a cow that's testing him, while Reata backs him up.
What? Okay, we made it. This is the pasture we were headed for. Just coming through the gate. Well, they're all in fresh pasture. There's even a little bit of green in this winter grass. Load up the dogs. Load up! Okay, Reata, load up! Hey, Laddie, load up! Hey, good dog. Good dog. Good boy, Laddie.